Good morning, dear friends, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the AABN community, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to our 241st weekly webinar. As we gather on the first Sunday of the new year, let me extend my heartfelt wishes for a year filled with health, prosperity, and meaningful connections. May 2026 be a year of innovation, inclusion, and impact for each one of us. Despite the unprecedented challenges of recent times, we have remained united, stayed in touch, and created positive pathways for growth. For that, I sincerely thank you for your faith and support. The festivities of the season provide us with a wonderful opportunity to reconnect with the fellow entrepreneurs and explore how AABN continues to shape an exciting environment for collaboration. The AABN community, as you know, is an umbrella front of entrepreneurs from across the globe. It is truly gratifying to see how this platform fosters collaboration among individuals of diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and expertise. As we move forward with our strategic plans, we remain committed to investing in the vast potential inherent in such collaboration. Today's webinar is a special milestone, and we are honored to begin the new year with an eminent speaker who brings fresh perspectives on India's development journey, innovation, inclusion, and impact. It's my privilege to introduce Mr. Krishnasami John Sundar, former Director of the Simultaneous Interpretation Services at the Lok Sabha Secretariat, Parliament of India, New Delhi. Mr. Sundar is currently engaged as a guest lecturer at leading institutions including Delhi University and Jawaharlal Nehru University, where he contributes to translation, workshops, capacity building courses, and presentations on effective communications, development communication, reporting parliament and broadcasting news. His distinguished career spans roles such as newsreader cum translator at All India Radio, news editor at Doordarshan, program announcer at AR Coimbatore, assistant professor of English at Loyola College and Nehru Memorial College, PR executive at TIA Corporate Office, and translator for Sahitya Academy and other national institutions. He has also been a freelance producer, anchor, interviewer, computer reviewer, sports commentator, and scriptwriter in both English and Tamil. Academically, Mr. Sundar holds advanced degrees in English, sociology, journalism, and mass communication, along with specialized diplomas in journalism, constitutional law, and broadcast journalism. He is currently pursuing a PhD in sociology at Madurai Kamaraj University, focusing on reporting the legislative process over Lok Sabha television with reference to the Women's Reservation Bill. His areas of contribution include policy analysis, governance studies, media professionalism, youth communication, and capacity building for media schools. With his vast expertise in news reading, voiceover, and media connectivity, Mr. Sundar continues to strengthen both national and global communication landscapes. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Mr. Krishnasami John Sundar. A sincere appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Suresh Mariasalam for his continued support and guidance in this journey of AABN. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. John Sundar.
Happy New Year to one and all. My compatriots, my fellow alumni from Annamalai University, where I took MA Sociology degree. Birds of the same feather have flocked together, and birds are known for journeying and migrating. Today, we are going to discuss our developmental journey pertaining to our vast, wide land, a subcontinent which we cherish and hold high as India. Today's topic, India's development journey. Any journey, end to start, must have a halt in between. Though we begin this session for this year as the first one for the year, I would consider this as a halting resort where we will compare notes. A vast topic I think the topic itself is quite vast in a sense that it has got to cover so many things from different paradigms. At least three different paradigms are there: the traditional India, post-independent India, and independent India. Men who have contributed with their developmental thoughts, with their innovation from their angle, suiting their times. Which ideology stood the test of time? Let's go into all these things. But before we could go into all these things, how we as a nation have shaped ourselves, evolved, and ensured inclusivity. Whether we have ensured inclusivity is still a question, because what others have got to say about this country, great country, and what we perceive this as a nation. Let's start with what happened when Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador, visited India in the 300 BC, when Chandragupta Maurya was ruling a vast area of this country. That time, what happened? He observed things in his own way, and he thought that Chandragupta Maurya's vast empire consisted of people divided into 7 classes. From Greek angle, he perceived and placed philosophers as number 1. Then farmers, Surandrum Yerbinnadu Ulagam, Urandrum Udave Tale. Valluvar says, and Valluvar is giving importance to farming and agriculture, which is the backbone of our country. And Megasthenes, who considered philosophers to be important, considers farmers to be more important. And he observed farmers are there, and farmers are providing and contributing to the state richly in an effective way. Then headsmen and hunters, artisans and traders, soldiers, who will be attached to the king as a professional army, maintained entirely at the king's expense, as we find now in a developing country like India or developed world. We find defense draws more money from the budgetary allocations. Should we allocate more to defense than education, which will empower people, which will ensure inclusivity? All these questions are there. So if you have gone through the flyers sent as a post by the organizers of this webinar session, you might have noticed that very many things have been mentioned pertaining to the development story of India. When we come to this word development, much has been said, much water has flown in Ganga. That is what we can say. The word development has got many meanings. Once we utter the word development, people think in terms of growth, and more particularly economic growth. Whether it stops with economic growth, no. Development, it has to be show itself in a physical form in the social environment as infrastructural facilities. Not only that, it will have its own contributors, thinkers, planners, and assessors and beneficiaries. With all these things, development will have its own social impact apart from economic fallouts. So, social analysis of development, economic analysis of development, and historical evaluation of development, and development pertaining to various ages. This calls for 3 different paradigms. So instead of shifting paradigms one after the other or one over the other, I would rather prefer to give a kind of introduction. As I told you in the beginning, any journey will have a halt at a resort or an inn in between when the journey is to have an end to start. Now, I would like to impress upon the organizers of this webinar series that let me be given an opportunity to come with fully structured, thought-provoking presentation either on 1st of February, that is just after Republic Day and just before the budget session, or any time, second week or third week. Why I call for a next session? Because I don't think I would be able to do justice in this single session, because we have to have an analysis of history, an understanding of history, an interpretation of history, and what is to be taken as real history. All these things are there. History of development is one, and development of history is another thing. Now, we as entrepreneurs belonging to the business community, we would believe in laissez-faire. Laissez-faire, as you all know, allowing things without control. Now, allowing things without control in a philosophical perspective would be different. But in an industrial economy, in the world of business, it is considered as governmental control or non-governmental control, or without any government control, carrying on your own enterprise or business. Okay. Now we have to live with the fate accomplished. That is, what has happened like Gita says. Bhagavad Gita says, what has happened has happened. Now we have no option except to accept in reality that we have a governance, a mechanism sitting over things. Things are happening according to the controls and the permissions granted. With this, we are going on with our governance system, be it judiciary, be it election conducting mechanism, be it investigative agencies, about which I told you, Megasthenes gives importance to spies, that is information gatherers, a sixth place in his stratification of society into 7. Whereas Kautilya's Arthashastra would rely on the ancient traditional wisdom of this country and would stratify society into just 4 varnas. We know that. Now, is there a conflict between these two? Yes. In independent India, where people have a thirst for freedom, an urge to go on with their free will, there is a clash of ideas. That is one reason why we find a conservative society on one hand and a progressive thinkers on another side who will be holding the placards pertaining to social justice, equality, socialism. All these things are there. Now, I'm not for deep delving into history further, but just you notice Chandragupta Maurya was there before the birth of Christ, 300 years before him. 400 years after Jesus Christ, Chandragupta I and Chandragupta II. And as you all know, Chandragupta II's period or regime ushered in a kind of golden era to India. If you read history, all historians, without any difference, would agree that Chandragupta II's reign was a golden age for India. Why? That is because of two foreigners looking at India, Fahian and Yuan Shuang, with a difference of 20 years. One was looking into things from a Buddhist monk's angle, and another one was looking at India with an ambassador's eye, caring for society. So one was all in praise for India of those times. And another one was very critical of India. Even Megasthenes thought that there is no slavery in India. But we all know that slavery has been justified in the society in the form of varnas. I am not making an overstatement. I'm not going into it, but these are all thought-provoking things. Because even as businessmen, even when in establishing corporate bodies and enterprises, we now think in terms of representative reservation for people who have been deprived of education, social inclusivity down the ages. When we are questioning the reservation system in jobs and education, 70 years too long, why we should continue? But those people would say that more than 2000 years, we have been deprived of all these things. Now we are getting in a free India. We must ensure that. So we must think in terms of social inclusivity with its political undertones before we could venture into any kind of business activity. Corporate world is well aware. That is one reason why many of the politicians are in the pockets of corporates. We know that. You may be thinking that I am going far away from the topic given to me. No, I am not. When you are thinking in terms of innovation, one's innovation may be considered as another's old school thought. Why I say this? Because you are all familiar with the saying that one sweet meat is another's poison. That can be so. Having said about innovation, see, Raja Ram Mohan Roy's social reform thinking was an innovation of his times. Jyotirao Phule's thinking that we must give education to the poor and the underprivileged, deprived sections of society, that is his innovation. He thought that is his innovative idea to empower the deprived sections of society. Now, its impact over the years, during colonial period and during freedom struggle, and immediately after freedom, its social impact, how it has come about. Now, we are in this webinar as alumni of Annamalai University. When education was restricted to certain sections of the society, it was the rulers, the administrators in the Justice Party, when they were given an opportunity in the absence of Congress Party, which devoted itself to freedom struggle, Justice Party, when it came to power, through its GO, it ensured that Presidency College can be thrown open to all people. Similarly, Annamalai University, which was started by a benevolent benefactors from particular community who have contributed significantly to the economic growth of this part of the country and also the entire nation in a way, as ones who were doing business in Burma, Malaysia, Singapore, and so on. You all know that. Let's not go into it. But even at that point of time, when they were contributing huge money, their wealth, to provide education to the society, in the earlier years, it was restricted to a particular section of the society. It was thrown open to all people. So that way, Annamalai University has opened the floodgates to education to various people, various sections of society. People from all cross sections of society could find place in Annamalai University. And that is one reason why, of all the universities in the country, and of all the universities in India, Annamalai University had, I'm using the word had, a significant role in shaping the minds of the youth of those days, be it scientific advancement, contributing to science and technology, the engineering graduates of Annamalai University are there in several countries, in many parts of the world. So also, the language scholars from Annamalai universities, they have established themselves. That is one reason why we are here to stimulate our thinking every week with this webinar, because we, the alumni of Annamalai University, believe in taking us all together, sharing thoughts, sharing views, and sharing practical wisdom from several fields. Now, I am supposed to go into analyze the innovation, inclusion, and its impact on the society, particularly India's society. As I told you, development can be viewed from several angles. It has political, social, technological, apart from financial or economic development. But economic development alone can find ways and means to ensure the growth of other fields. That is one reason why most often development is always associated with economic growth. As a broadcaster, as a news reader, we used to come across, or invariably in every news bulletin, there will be 1/3 of time slot allotted to development stories. That is, there was you all know that successive 5-year plans were there. And according to the 5-year plans, time to time, every 3 months, the union cabinet will be meeting and giving go ahead to the plans that were envisaged in the plan document, and go accordingly and contributing to it, and fund allocations and its execution, and it's being monitored, and how it is being made functional. All these things, they are called development stories. As a communicator, I have come across the fund allocation for a particular project and how the project is being viewed at, and what is the fallout of it, whether there is social amity or animosity towards that particular project coming up there. Say, for instance, Kudangulam, say, for instance, Yennur Port, say, for instance, Kalpakam. When they were about to come, there were opposition. Later on, people were made to realize and understand that this country can go in for atomic power. There are two schools of thought here. Japan and even France are in the process of closing their atomic reactors. But in this country, there are people still swearing that it is only atomic power that can take us out and make us self-sustainable, self-sufficient in getting power or electricity for that reason. When it comes to the paradigm shifts, as I told you, a structured presentation of development, as I told you, can be arrived at only with the interaction I may be able to get after my presentation. Now, what I am coming out is like heterogeneous ideas violently yoked together. In Hamlet, you might have come across Polonius, verse, verse, verse. Yes. If people start talking about development, especially in the field of economics, it's nothing but words and words and words. Whether it is Malthus or Keynesian or Marxian, so many economic thoughts are there. How they have shaped a particular community, whether it has shaped East Europe, whether it has shaped USSR, whether it has had its impact in India. There are so many things that have got to be studied. Its fallout and impact is still in China, Indochina, Taiwan. We all know that. In Korea, especially in North Korea, we all know that. Now, with the experience I claim to have in parliamentary reporting and communication, I can come with a structured presentation later, because I can even give development story from personalities. Several personalities have contributed in a significant way. Say like, in the independent India, though Gandhiji lived there just for 2 years after the freedom or independence, he had his own trusteeship. He believed in that economic balancing thought. A Nehruvian model, we know that. It is liberal socialism. During the same time, Kamaraj came with scientific socialism. During the same time, Lohiite socialism was popular socialism. You all know that. Then came VP Singh. Before that, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Indira Gandhi went in for more of nationalization. It is a combination of socialism, whether it is leading to communism or not, whether it will lead to a kind of dictatorship. We know that. Those struggles during that period when Mrs. Gandhi was in power from 69 to 84. And in 84, the globalization started. And Rajiv Gandhi came as a novice in politics, but he came with a promise that he will go for innovation, inclusivity, and technology mission. Of course, he was sowing seeds of which fruits we are witnessing now. Through the technology mission, what was considered as a rarity, for instance, telephone, has become, as is in the hands of everyone here, is in the palms of even common people here, right? But this development over the years, whether it has really contributed, yes, it took a faster pace with Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh combination. And during that period, what was unleashed in between 84 and 89 by Rajiv Gandhi was opened up. And it was further opened up when BJP was able to complete its full term between 99 and 2004. You all know that. And during that period, what was considered to be innovation was what was not easily available to people. I'm giving just a kind of case study. I'm not entering into any kind of politics there. Political undertones may be there. For instance, the telecom sector was considered important because reaching out the remote places was not that easy because of the infrastructural inadequacies. From that angle, Vajpayee government thought it fit to come with a national telecom policy, which will ensure that there will be 4 to 5 players in every circle having divided the country into 52 circles, telecom circles. And every circle will have 3 a minimum or 5 a maximum operators, so that the people who are spending in communication will have to spend less. And that came true also to some extent. You might have seen Aircel was there as a competitor, as a fourth competitor, a fifth competitor in Tamil Nadu and Northeast. You might have noticed that during that period, drastically it came down. When an operator like Airtel came for the first time, it was 36 rupees or 37 rupees. Then became 18 rupees, either end. Both the receiver and the call maker had to pay. Later on, it came down to just 1 rupee a call. And now you know what is the reality. Why I'm saying this? Because this innovation by the technology mission of Rajiv Gandhi took time, at least 20 years, to materialize and spread across the country. Now then came sharing this bandwidth from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Now, when 2G was to come, the union government, some bureaucrats, and 1 or 2 ministers were seriously pursuing this idea that there must be a fair competition. At the same time, there were 3 monopolist corporate bodies. They formed a cartel among themselves, and they wanted to see that more competitors do not come into the field. You all know that scam that has not happened really was blown beyond measure and came in the way of real development, which Manmohan Singh would have achieved by 2020, as envisioned by our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. There was a stagnation. As we all see that we are moving ahead, we are going forward. We have now come up to 5G also. But what was created as a great corruption in auctioning or giving away or sharing different competitors in different circles on materialistic aspects. There could have been more entrepreneurs. There could have been more job creation. There could have been better utility and better facility people come about. As the bottlenecks development controlled by new applicants. Not at all. And one person together, the top 8% by 65% technological development being further, even further by a
The audio is not coming.
done it. Yeah, I- He was not good enough. But,
Get the mic closer or come closer to the mic.
am I audible now?
Yeah, somewhat, but I think some network problem, I think.
Audible. That's not sudden.
Maybe you can speak a little louder, or you can.
Now, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have been expecting voice cracks, then you end up as voice, and I would end up the other way about. Why? Because this technology, when it comes to many, even at this age, like 70 plus, are quite familiar with the tools. Now, you see, I was taken aback. I felt helpless suddenly, and I went to Wi-Fi and checked. So this technology, this adaptation, using this equipment, okay, it comes naturally with children, not us. Okay, let's not go into it. Now, unique insight, as I told you. Now, India is investing in space research. India's innovative approach in path cutting in space research and space missions has helped many European countries. Do you know that a huge Bahubali was sent up the sky, American payload, for which the Americans be paying us in dollars. So that way, our innovative scientists have contributed to this country's economy by way of earning foreign. Right. I look at it from a business angle. But coming inclusivity, analyzing the role of top scientists, present director, earlier one, beginning with the Krishnasami Anarpai, have all stated that they have come from medium school background. Education opened up a new vista for this society.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. You can. I think you can use a. You can use a earphone mic. I think your computer mic is slightly giving problem because your voice is breaking. You can use a earphone
Yeah,
mic.
if my voice is breaking, that is because of my Wi-Fi provider has not provided it fault free.
Okay,
It gives
okay.
problem often
No,
and
this is
on.
fine. This is fine. Come closer. Yeah, this is fine. At least it's we can hear. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now these small disturbances. Okay. As I was telling you, this Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh opened up really the globalization process in India that enabled people to go near banks and financial institutions. During Mrs. Gandhi's time, the nationalization of banks helped middle class people and even the poor to go near the banks. And during Manmohan Singh's period, because of the liberal policies, we now know that housing loan or vehicle loan has made life easy for the middle class section, and even the poorer sections of the society are helped by the government to go in for various Awas Yojanas. You know that. Now, Awas Yojana is the mainstay for the present government at the center. They want to ensure that more rural people are included, are covered under the scheme so that they will create a support base from among the masses. Okay, when it comes to development story, providing house is important, or providing opportunities for livelihood is important. When it comes to job creation, that is a great challenge facing this country. As I was telling you, 65% of the masses in this country, 70% of the masses in this country have to share from just 14% of national wealth. And that money has to be allocated for defense, social welfare schemes, education, and various other things like, as I was mentioning to you, the telecom sector or the space research sector, and so on and so forth. Right. Now, education is getting lesser and lesser importance over the years. It is an unfortunate thing. As an educated community, as alumni of a celebrated university, as ones who would feel that we have been empowered through education, may have to assert ourselves to the center to leave education to different geographical areas and let it be according to the needs and necessities of the states concerned, and let there be more fund for education. And next to defense, it must get topmost priority. That kind of urge and assertion and a plea and a clarion call must come from educated community. When it comes to, as I was telling you, a vision. Now, vision and mission, we know that. We always club these two, but mission is different in the sense that it comes in the form of various executions. And those who are to execute have to improve their knowledge, gather information, and hone their skills. Skill development is another area. When you are talking in terms of India's development, for that reason, the entire world, with the advent of artificial intelligence and technological advancements, more skilled people are required. People have to equip themselves with not only knowledge and information and education in particular fields, but they have to improve their skills. And those who have skill, those of the skilled labor have to hone their skills and enhance their skills further. Such an environment in the academic field has to evolve in India, because what was 30 crores 100 years ago, when Bharati sang Seppumozhi Padinettudaiyal, Inil Sindhanai Onrudaiyal, and he began that particular stanza with Muppadu Kodi Mugamudayal. Now we are 5 times more. We are we are at a fast pace to reach 150 crores anytime now. At this juncture, the educated community of this country has to think in terms of contributing to society, raising voice. In my opinion, when it comes to development, what is happening in India? When IT came, Karnataka became an IT hub. Then Andhra, with Chandrababu Naidu's push. Now, Andhra and Telangana are competing with each other who will attract more in the field of IT. And then Tamil Nadu has become an IB because our computer whiz kids have all come back from states, have come back from NASA. I would, one Mr. Seshadri, who was made a head of National Informatics Center, contributed to a significant growth all over India, district-wise communication, computerized connectivity came about in the early 80s. It is because, not early 80s, later 80s, after Rajiv Gandhi's tenure. So Rajiv Gandhi's tenure saw a significant development in reaching out to remote areas, unreachable areas through communication, And communication has opened up in such a fashion that now what is seen to be modern in a modern town like Bombay can be easily seen by an ordinary citizen in a remote area. So that way, exposure is there. But whether right information or knowledge pertaining to that in their own language, is it there? That is one reason why I would like to urge upon the thinkers or those who want to think in lines of some presentations through these webinars. That is you all. We must think in terms of getting more power and more allocation from the center for various missions, looking at it from development angle. And Mahatma Gandhi said it has to begin from villages. The village panchayats must decide, then the next level, then the next level, then it must come to the national pool and there must be planning. But the bottom up, whether it is there or not. Well, now the pyramidal structure is there. Now who will do what? From top to bottom or bottom to top? So the sharing of power, unfortunately, now we see coming in the way of providing education. Now, we have had this 11 plus up to 12. What was up to 11 has become 12 plus 2. That is, children have to spend 12 years in schools. In Tamil Nadu, it is there. In Karnataka and Kerala, after 10th, they have junior colleges. Okay, that suits them. That suits the population. And here, we have adopted it from 1977, the moment we took over from the dictates of CBSE or UGC, that we will have 10 plus 2, right? 10 plus 2 has done a benefit in Tamil Nadu more than Karnataka, more than Andhra, or more than Kerala, because at least up to PU level, intermediate level, students can study, ensure their education, free education. Free education, the thought of Kamaraj and the motto moved in by late Anadure, and which was translated into reality by Karunanidhi, and then added vigor to it with free meals attracting students by M.G. Ramachandran, and ensuring its continuance by Jayalalitha regime, and making it more attractive by way of involving more students as beneficiaries. Now the dropout rate has come down in Tamil Nadu, and it stands first in the entire country. The dropout rate has been reduced very much, and education is ensured to our children, right? We are educated. Are they able to get jobs? That is another question. So whether business community or corporate world or the government is thinking in terms of creating jobs. We are faced with many challenges. Even AI is an advancement, right? But whether it will come in the way of job curtailment, that is there. So we must put our head together. The business community must put our head together. As I was pointing out, Karnataka, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu, with the IT sector, what has happened is its impact is humongous, which we did not expect at all. More northerners have thronged Bangalore like anything, that Bangalore is now finding it difficult to breathe even. That kind of thing is happening in Andhra, Hyderabad, and that is becoming a reality as we witness in Tamil Nadu, especially in Chennai. It is a good thing that now this government is thinking in terms of spreading it out to Coimbatore, Tiruchi, Madurai, and beyond. It's good. This balanced growth, widely distributed, is necessary, and that has to happen for the entire country. It is only when states are given an opportunity to decide on their own, one state can become a model to another. When I'm talking about model, I'm not going into a political term attached to it. But we have to see that inclusivity is intended there. We have no second opinion that our Bihari brethren should improve. Now we find more migrant labor from there and Assam and Northeast and so many other places. This migrant labor are coming to fertile regions like Tamil Nadu, or Kerala, or Karnataka, or Andhra. It is no wonder. When we were rushing to Malaysia or Singapore or Middle East countries, now another kind of inland migration is taking place. It is a reality. So we have to take into consideration the lessons from the past, and we have to keenly observe the ground realities of the day in the present, and we have to evolve and chalk out plans for the future. So more autonomy for states, be it education, be it language, or be it technological advancement, or be it investment. Why not investment? Like in Australia, several provinces can have foreign collaborations on their own, and it need not be nationwide. It need not be a national government's attempt or enterprise. It can be decided by the provinces. So that kind of thing, when it is opened up, if it is to be opened up in India, that will benefit us. So I, for one, would think that what Sarkaria Commission said, or prior to it, Tamil Nadu's, I'm not really getting that. Okay. To go into the question of state autonomy or more powers to the state, they emphasize that a kind of liberal funding to the states concerned to decide their own action plans. See, Tamil Nadu believed in providing education right from the early part of this century. And they believed in providing education. And the Ambedkar's mission was social empowerment through education. And the same thing was propagated by the leaders of Justice Party. And then it was upheld by Tandai E.V.R. Periyar. We all know that. And the successive governments in Tamil Nadu have been following it, right from Kamaraj to the present day government. So, empowering people must be the motto of our state. Empowering people must be the vision statement and mission statement of we all concerned. And we should think in terms of contributing to it, how we can do it. Through business ventures, yes, but at the same time, we should spread the thought that claiming more powers to the state is not a political statement. Claiming more powers to the states should be a common man statement from every state, especially in the states which are growing, which have ensured growth, which have witnessed development, which have seen success, which have proved itself praiseworthy. Now, clamoring for state autonomy or more powers, if I can say that India should be like United States of India, we all must live and stay united. No second opinion about that. And at the same time, grassroots level planning and top to bottom planning should merge somewhere, should have cohesiveness, but whether cohesiveness is there or not. If that is there, then there may not be a lacuna in proper fund allocation from the center for education sector in Tamil Nadu. It is there. So if you view it like the unity we find in the opposition parties of Kerala and all the parties in Karnataka, unfortunately, we do not find it here. So through by propagating these ideas during our discussions, during our interactions, during our conversations with people, we should make people aware that politicking everything is an unfortunate thing in our state, which is unfortunate. We should not. We should go beyond that. We should think in terms of development. That is where development from a social angle, economic angle, technological angle, industrial productivity, increasing industrial productivity or agricultural productivity through innovations, employing technology. So our business community in these developed states have contributed significantly and in a cohesive manner, in a collaborative manner, in an interactive manner. And the interdisciplinary education system, a kind of welcoming ecosystem is providing for our development in such a fashion that we are moving ahead. How we are moving ahead, what are the challenges before it, and how we can overcome it, and how we can structurally analyze all these things put together in a cohesive manner and stimulate our thoughts as well as people whom we will be interacting with. That's important. So that way, we must think in terms of contributing through our thoughts, sharing our thoughts by word of mouth. We should spread that things can be accomplished by way of collaboration and cooperation. So development calls for massive collaboration of the masses of this country with an aim to achieve real growth in all fields. I'm concluding for now, requesting the organizers to get some clues from this interactive session, which may follow now, to have a further structured presentation on this topic. Now it is a random thoughts, as I told you, shared with you. Thank you very much. Now the floor is thrown open to question and answer session. Am I audible?
Gopi? Yeah. Can I go ahead, Gopi?
Yeah, please.
Sir, my name is Vishwanath. I am a professor at practice at Anna University. I have issues. I also run an industry. What is as much as I'm trying to give knowledge, cutting edge technology to my students, they are the best.
Vishwanath, you are breaking.
No.
Vishwanath, you are breaking.
Can you not hear me?
Now better.
It's not clear?
Now
now
it is clear. So come
now-
closer and talk.
Okay. I am, as a professor, the more I prepare hard and try to give knowledge, students seem to be more interested in the marks. In fact, they want tutorials. They don't want, they are not interested. In fact, they say, please give the PPT, that's good enough. Now tell what questions will come in the end semester examination. We'll give you, you can change the values. That will allow you, but tell what the problems you're going to ask. Surprising from the toppers of this state. I'm not saying everybody, but in a class of 30, I find 3 or 4, yearning for knowledge. I thought it was much on a different scale. I won't say, not that I was a very good student, but my second problem is in my industry. I am trying to make my workers as my partners. I am telling educated engineers from rural background to become partners. I'll give you, I'll give you a salary, but more importantly, I'll give you a rate contract. But they say, I'm talking of Tamil people. They say, we want leave. We want to enjoy, that. And whereas paradoxically, the North Indians, they want to work all days, Sundays, national holidays. They say, give us more overtime. You know, they have severe limitations on language, intelligence and all that, but they are very hardworking. It's a paradox because I want to encourage, because I am 65, maybe in another 10 years, I may not even, so I'm telling, this is your baby. I mean, you guys take over, you give me a small percentage. So my logic is, instead of working very hard and trying to make 10% on 10 crores, I will rather have 100 people or 10 or 20 people doing 5, 6, 10 crores, and I'll take 1% from you. I'll get the same revenue, but you become owners. Sadly, nobody wants to come. It's a paradox for me. So I'm trying to enthuse even IIT has a different culture. IIT now, in fact, open house is going on from 2nd to 6th. Lot of startups. They have somehow, they are not interested in salaries. Even salaries of 60 to 80 lakhs, they are refusing because they want to go for startups. When I meet them, they are saying, sir, I will do a startup in 10 years, I'll sell it for 100 crores. They have got a different idea altogether. They want to become entrepreneurs. I am unable to enthuse our people to, they are happy, 20,000, 30,000 salary. Our Tamil Nadu boys are very happy. I think the social system, what you mentioned, the revolution is making them very complacent. Very, very, in fact, this was mentioned by the Kotak Mahindra founder, that unlike the earlier generations of top 5,000 industries in India, they are happy in boardroom. They don't want to start new enterprise. There was a very nice article in the print also, how the present generation does not want to actively do innovation. They don't want to invest in industry. They want to do money transaction and that kind of investing in mutual funds. Very happy, very satiated, because parents are also to be blamed. Parents don't want that. In fact, when I try to get internship for our students in Anna University, parents come and complain to me, sir, 30 kilometer, why they should travel? Let them get them some internship in the college itself or some nearby research institute. Please don't send them 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers seems to be very far away. So parents also don't want the children to work because they have everything. In fact, people who do Ola or Swiggy make more money than an intern. That is what they are telling. Why we should, and sad. Some of the chemical engineering students, one lecturer in Anna University is telling, they are not attending classes, they are going for Swiggy delivery. In Anna University. Yes, outsiders may find it funny, but that's the reality. I want your take. You are saying give more, make people happy and all that, but actually happiness builds complacency. That is my thing. If you have got fire in the belly, you're hungry. I think we as a generation we work very hard. Many of my classmates came from scions of very rich families, but still they had to come by cycle, kaitu kattil. They weren't given any privileges. But today, without a bike, a student won't attend college. Middle class families are also, pandering to the, demands of these children. Your comments, please.
Yes, about the evaluation system and the marks scored by the students, and whether it really ensures information gathering, knowledge gathering, acquiring wisdom, or getting real education. That is another question. Right from Kothari Commission days, we are always thinking in terms of improving the system, improving education system, but it is a continuous process. As you all know, what we studied in intermediate level, now class 6 students are made to cramp them. So that kind of challenging situations are there, and naturally people look forward to results in the same, in the sense, jobs. And when it comes to job market, you said fire in the belly is not there, aspiring for more is not there, complacency has set in. Yes, these are all marks. why it has happened. When India was made a free country, most of our wealth had been taken away and they were stored in London and beyond. And we were left with a poor coffer. And it is our endeavor in all these 70 years to see that we come up. And we have managed to. And in this vast country, it is a challenging task. But over the years, all the governments have contributed whatever they can to see that this country grows in several fields, several ways, right? But at the same time, the last phase from 84 and between 91 and 96 and ever after that, in the name of globalization, we have made our society a consumeristic society. Unfortunately, it is. We have to accept that consumeristic culture has set in. And this added with the complacency and added with the attitude of parents. Now, we in the age group of 16 above have seen our parents being kind to us only on occasions. Otherwise, they will be strict to see that we study, and we study properly. That kind of, even when we are left in the school, they would say that, leave alone the eyes, beat him black and blue, see that he is better educated, he is shaped up well. But today, if a teacher looks at a boy, why you have not done this? With a questioning eye, even that questioning eye draws complaint. Next day, the boy's uncle or parents would be there to threaten the teacher. This kind of vitiated atmosphere has come. Why this has happened? Our parents were strict to us, whereas education created job opportunities, and most of us became a middle-class society. And as government servants, as company workers, we thought we will give better education. And at the same time, the strictness with which our teachers and parents handled, we gave a go-by to that. We have ensured a growth of pampered children, lots and lots of pampered children. And complacency has set in because of that. Now even parents cannot question their children. That kind of thing has come. We have to look into a kind of a sociological study, and more counseling centers should be there, and understanding the real problems, what is going on. Because these are all fallouts of technological advancement also. We have to accept that. Now, no cycle can be easily seen on the roads now. All are two-wheelers. And what kind of traffic culture it has brought about. So one affects the other. It's a kind of chain reaction in the society, one over the other. So that way, we are finding ourselves in a with so much of complexities, with the people full of complacence. That's what I can say. We are finding ourselves amidst complexities in a world where youth are more complacent. And the parents are really worried, like you. Yes. You are not audible.
Mentoring some.
No, you are audible. Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah,
Now you are audible.
I am mentoring some students from IIT Madras project. They are
Okay.
really hardworking. They work. I mean, they have got very, very high goals and very lofty goals. Now, you know what? I mean, IIT last year had 1,000 crores in consultancy alone. And you see if you go to their open house, all the children are now encouraged to do startup. Here, most of our time actually in Anna University is spent on invigilation system for the evaluation and all these things. There it's open. If a student registers in a project, that teacher can decide what course he can do evaluate. I mean, everything the teacher can decide. I mean, it's a very open system. So this disparity, what you are telling, is going to increase because these children are, from the top echelons of the society, and they are going to be making. They are going to be the next, big. So the rest of the society can only expect a trickle down effect because they are going to make, especially technology is being leveraged like anything, and it's amazing how much they work, and there's a clear polarization I can see between my students, and especially people from rural. They are happy if they get a job, especially a government job. I tell them, you have got a problem, you have got longevity. So if you work for 30 years, next 30 years you'll have to sit at home after retirement, and they don't seem to understand. In fact, I encourage them to go to Chennai Trade Center, to go to all the CSIR labs, but I'm losing actually. I find I'm not inspiring enough to my students.
Not exactly. Now you are pulled down by the complexities. That is what you are explaining, not trying to explain now. As you said, poles apart. Yes, hardworking children are also there, and the complacent lot are also on the increase. And we find both, whether South Pole is drying up or North Pole is melting down. That kind of thing we witness. Unfortunate it is. And as you rightly put, in Tamil Nadu, people who have gone for more patent, registering for more patents, that has considerably increased, and Tamil Nadu ranks #1 in patent registration. Thanks to what you pointed out, as entrepreneurship is on the increase, and young people are motivated to go for startups and other things. It is really benefiting the society, right? And we have to draw a meeting point, how we can go about changing the attitude of the society. Unfortunate it is that anything has a price. That kind of attitude has come. Anything has a price. That is one reason why we find corruption in all the fields. Now it must begin from every individual, unless and otherwise it begins from every individual. Say, for instance, though it is out of the way, let me give an example. In 61, 62, I have seen my uncles and aunties and grandparents talking about selecting bride or bridegroom for the family. And they will be saying that bridegroom is working in a court or he is working in collector office. They will ask, okay, let it be. Kai neela illiye. That is, our corruption free irupparalaya. That had a social status. Now what is happening is he makes good money. That has become a social status. The attitude has changed because that kind of attitude. So our women, wives, daughters, mothers, sisters, aunties, the attitude of our women folk must change, and we must show them the way. And we must be part of it. See, as far as I am concerned, I vowed and said to myself that I will be neither a giver nor a taker as long as I am in government service. How many people take that vow and stand by that? I'm not, it is not self-aggrandizement, but a self-evaluation to point out as a case study. So unless otherwise, we look within and change ourselves individually and share our thoughts this way. Once we start appreciating, what happened is, he doesn't know how to lead a good life. That kind of dismissive attitude has come about people who want to stand upright, isn't it? Who want to be corruption free. They are laughed at as people who cannot make a good living. That is unfortunate. So attitudinal change, view of looking at individuals has to change, and social status must be given to people who are upright. that has to come again. How to bring it up, bring it. Rajmohan Gandhi tried moral rearmament in 69 and 70, and he gave up after 2-3 years. But that has to come again. That has to be inculcated. And we must put our heads and heart together into it. Yes, it is a complex situation. It's a reality that is staring at us. Yes.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, my name is Asoka. I'm speaking from Salem. I belong to the 1976 chemical engineering batch from Anand University. My question is, the skill development is not adequate. That is what I feel in India.
Yeah, inadequate. I
It doesn't,
pointed out, yes.
it doesn't match with the requirements and expectations of the industries. That is a big issue now. And what is your opinion and what is the solution for this?
Yeah. Now, the way in which the dispensaries and private hospitals are equipping themselves with imported equipments, whether the same thing is happening in our education institutions, that is a question. If adequate funding next only to defense is given, then that can be uniformly taken care of. Now it has been left in the hands of private hands. What happened when there were just 11 engineering colleges in 60s? Now there are 600 and more. So infrastructure is in the shape of buildings only, but most of them do not have adequate equipment that would be required for pursuing real good technical education. So that's another challenge. So whether doctors and doctors' family establishing hospitals and coming out with new imported equipments, whether that kind of thing is happening in the education sector, whether Kalvi Tandais are doing it, that's $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that has to be looked into. Now, entrepreneurs and engineers who seek to be entrepreneurs should think in terms of contributing to their alma mater by way of providing these services. There should be a collective, collaborative effect from among the technocrats and engineers.
Now, do you think that the government should have a structured program for skill development?
They have.
I think something is missing there.
I would like to answer here.
Yeah, please, Krishna.
Yeah, Professor Velraj, our alumni, 86 batch, when he was a vice chancellor of Anna University, proposed that PE be divided into three verticals. Mean PE by research, PE by regular BE, and BE by practice. So if a BE by research means, suppose somebody wants to do research on electric vehicle, he will take courses in electrical engineering, electronic engineering, material science, chemistry, battery technology, everything. It will be like multidisciplinary program. Regular BE is your regular BE with some management here, there, some introduction to all, general purpose BE. And BE by practices, they will enter into something like drones, means from second year onwards, they will do studies, but they will also be involved in manufacturing drones or making of electric. They will go to internship right from second year onwards. I just want to this was idea, but he couldn't continue the second term for obvious reasons.
May I include something?
Can I come in here?
What I mean is, whatever Viswanathan said is in the academic level or institutions, what is happening is that. But my point is, the skill development is a continuous process. It means
Yes, you are right.
Learn, unlearn, and relearn. See,
Yes.
that is a continuous process. Do we have the government or the big organizations? Do we have the structured program for this? I don't think it is adequate. That's my opinion.
Like now, recently you have been witnessing that when there are more adequate number of schools and more education, better education is available in Tamil Nadu, there is an attempt to go in for setting up more central schools. Instead, they should select all the districts. Every district must have with adequate infrastructure facility, skill development institution centers, where the time slot can be hired by taken on hired by education institutions, the nearby institutions in the neighborhood. So that way, time slot can be allotted, and all technical facilities should be available there to ensure that they get exposure to real latest equipment to handle the latest technology. So that kind of thing should be there. Let's share this idea, take it to the next, before next budget presentation to the union government, and let's take it to the respective governments also, state governments also.
Can I chip in?
Yeah,
May,
Yeah. So when I was working in a university, when I was teaching in a business school, I had an experience. So one of the students, he attended an interview in a car company, and the question was raised, and the fellow didn't know the answer. Then he said it was not covered in the subject. Then the interviewer said, "So we are not here to see whether what is covered and what is not covered. We are here to, recruit people who can solve our problems or requirements." Then I know that gentleman, so he called me. I said, "This is what happened." Then I informed the curriculum department. I said, "See, this is what, there is a big gap between the academic teaching as well as what is practically happening in the industry. So what is the solution? The solution is the industry people must visit the institutions and find out what is being taught and what is their requirement. They have to come out. Accordingly, the institutions also should gear up their curriculum and design their curriculum and practical thing according to the requirements, and then the student should be sent for internship." And third point is rightly pointed by sir, that it is not only, no one say I completed my BE or this thing. No, there is no completion. That's only a beginning. So learn, unlearn, and then again you unlearn,
Relearn.
learn again, learn. So this is a continuous process. That's why most of the international industries, multinational companies, they have once in a year, they have refreshing courses about the new technologies, new thing coming up. Otherwise, the IT industry will be nowhere. I'm basically a software person. I started in 86. That time it was basic and COBOL and Fortran and language. We had to write pages and pages and pages of program. Now everything is the tip. So development is happening every day. By the time we are talking about, that's a new driverless cars are there, and say automatically there is a fear is grooming up. That is what will be the state of this 600,000 drivers in Middle East if the driverless cars are released. So there should be some kind of new unlearned system should come, and then alternative livelihood. So there is a lot of intensity against engineering and social. That's why we concentrate on techno-social developments. So a lot of other things have to be done. It's not only just completing an engineering and going for work. There they will get stuck. They should have some linkages with other sectoral developments and learning of their own subject and the linkages with other subjects. Then only true development will start. That's what I feel from my experience.
Sir, go on, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Stalin, 1971 chemical from Annamalai. I am in the board of studies or even syllabus review committees of some of the colleges. This one thing. And another thing is, with respect to this industry institute interaction from Chemical Industry Association and also from Indian Chemical Council, we have had so many workshops. And also recently with the Federation of all the private universities. So with this background, let me make some observations. When I sit in the syllabus review committee, I find, at least in my view, whatever we studied for 5 years, now it has been truncated to 4 years. And many of the subjects, I am not sure how far their in-depth knowledge is made available to the students after this reduction from 5 years to 4 years. And second thing is, in addition to reduction to 4 years, I also find that to accommodate certain non-technical subjects, something like Constitution of India, history of Tamil culture, then ethics, I'm just giving some examples. Like this also, certain subjects have been included. So obviously, certain technical subjects have to be given a go by. This is one. The second thing is, again, just a thought. if someone is becoming a doctor only after 1 year of internship, I mean, right from my days, we never had any internship as a part
What
of
stuck?
internship. But here I am sorry to say that industry is absolutely not cooperating. Industry does not seem to realize that by cooperating with the institutions, the industry
Sir, we lost you. Sir, silent, sir, we lost you.
I don't know, something went wrong in video. Okay. I want to also make a little mention about CSDC, Chem Skill Development Center. This no-profit trust started by Chemical Industry Association, Indian Chemical Council, and Manali Industries Association some 4 years back. We are offering a bridge program for final year chemical engineering students. We are not teaching them any chemical engineering. All that we are telling them is, I mean, it's a 45 sessions long program, each 1.5 hours, followed by 10 days of in-plan training. We are only trying to orient the students towards the industrial practices. What is production? What is maintenance? What is technical services? What is equipment reliability? And safety and environmental concerns. Safety means it's not about gloves and goggles. More than that, process safety management, what kind of concerns are required? This is a composite program. I will not take much of time, and the feedback is very good. Now we are running for about 10 to 12 colleges. The feedback, just to summarize in 2 lines, students find that the inputs from this program are helpful to them at the time of interview. The inputs from this program are also helpful to the students even after they join the job. They find themselves to be better placed compared to someone else who has not undergone this program. And we also try to tie up with, we can be frank internally, with the non-Mudalvan. They showed interest, we also showed interest. But procedurally, they wanted to run for some 1,000 students at the same time online. We quietly walked out because we are interested in running an effective program, not just for the sake of government to put a tick that we are running a program. And incidentally, another information, we are aware of Government of India's skill development program, whatever name it is. I went through some of the statistics. In spite of government offering internship through so many companies, there are few takers. If I remember right, only 20% have utilized it. Because on one hand, we say that facilities are not available for skilling the students. On the other hand, students are not utilizing. I do not know whether institutions can do something to enroll the students for Government of India's skill development program. But of course, how good is that program? I'm not very sure. But I only saw the statistic that hardly 20% have availed the facility. Just an observation. I mean, as I said, right from the days of my coming out of the college, this industry institute interaction, cooperation, whatever you call, this dialogue is going on. But still, we have not come to an effective model which is happening. In fact, this Confederation of Indian Private Universities, when they made a presentation and all that, I saw that the model which is working really very well is in Germany and China. The effective integration between the industry and the institution, whether it is offering skills to the students or also institutes offering facilities of consulting for the industry and also research coordination, all those things. The best models, as I've seen, Germany, China, and if I remember right, South Korea. I'm not sure how our country can really move into that kind of effective working and who has to initiate, how it will get initiated. There's a lot of information available, but unfortunately, things are not moving. And another comment is with respect to the research or papers published. This also with my little exposure visiting the colleges. It's more of theoretical papers presentation to add to the CV of the professors or lecturers or even to the research students, rather than real practical application, which is really missing. I have seen many of the titles; these are all theoretical in nature, and there is no focus on practical application of the research. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, the same idea shared by Dr. Vishwanathan, that is effective collaboration is lacking, and we should only look forward to change the mindset of planners and contributors from both government and the industrial sector.
Gopi, can I come in now? I
Please,
raised my
please
hand.
go. Yeah, please go on, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. My view, based on my experience, Dr. Vishwanathan, and I'm not able to capture the last gentleman who talked actually very nice points. But fundamentally, based on my
Professor
experience,
Stalin Chandrapandya.
yeah, thank you, sir. And that's basically fundamentally from my experience. We are talking a lot about students, education, engineering, which is fantastic. Actually, I wanted to go out because some work, and as the discussions was very good, I stayed back. But we talked a lot about students and education aspect of it. But that is not the only point, right? See, ultimately, why the students are behaving like that? If you look at it, one thing we always forget is that we see a lot of motivational platitudes all around us. You should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. What I don't see is that a strategic reality that does not given by anybody, not the people talking here. I'm talking about inspirational leaders or even corporate organizations, big celebrities. There is no strategic reality of. The thing is that we do not know how to segregate political ideologies against societal stratifications and various disparities. We do not address them. None of them are addressed. So when children are in the upbringing of children, they are giving a very wrong model that you just study, you will get you grow in life. That's all. Nothing else matters. You just study, you look at everything, even like take up any social media lecture of any celebrity in Tamil Nadu, you take it up. They only talk the fundamental. You study any movie, you take it up. They only say you study, you will grow. You study, you will make money. You study, you will do that. But study, again, that's what they get into it. Just study, get a degree, whether it's IIT or NEET, to go to doctor. They'll just go run behind. They think they'll make money. And then every institution, sir, you talked about IIT and 1,000 crores, they're making it up. I've got a lot of involvement with this kind of thing. I see that IIT startup, they do not encourage anything which is related to innovation or research. All the startup they develop and encourage is only commercial. Anything can be commercial or not. So if you look at all the startups in Tamil Nadu or anything, it's more commercial based startups. They are not. Let us be very honest, because we are all very qualified and highly educated and in the positions. We have to be very honest, because all of them, whatever IIT does, it's all commercially, whether it will be commercially successful or not. That's the fundamental criteria they're saying. But they're not encouraging that research and innovation is supported and encouraged and then made it commercial. There are two different ways of looking at it. In Tamil Nadu, if you look at it, any startup is question is always whether it will be commercially successful or not. So people choose which will be commercially successful and play with it safely within a boundary condition. You don't do that. You do the other way around. If you want to grow, you identify a real niche, innovative research idea, which, if properly encouraged and developed, can be converted into a successful commercial model. That is what we have to look at it. The other way around is not the right thing. Even IIT is not doing it correctly. I'm very honest about it. And the same happens with everybody in this part of the world. If you look at it around, if I come to you now with all my 40 years of experience as an expert in one particular industry, discipline, I come with a fantastic idea. I'm telling you, none of us sitting here will invest money on that. The first question is, What will be the return and when you will get the return? What is the risk involved and why should we do it? We will completely forget even somebody with a 40 years of expert idea comes up with something. Like we talk a lot. I can give a lecture now about half an hour about everything. But then if I put some idea and I want investment, nobody will do that unless it is commercial or other things. I don't want to get into the other people start about NGOs and a lot of forums and various kind of for things are done. That is for doing something else. But from a proper application of technology, innovation, and getting that commercial model, that is very difficult here. And secondly, we students, for example, we do not teach them how to integrate the political ideologies, social stratification, various levels of disparities, and what is study definitely means. Study, just to study, you grow is not the right thing, as you already pointed out. Every one of you pointed out that study is about learning actually and understanding the fundamental principles. So here I want to add up one point, sir, especially Mr. Vishwanathan. I am very happy to come and talk to you on one-on-one or even give a lecture to the college. One of the things you have to remember, sir, when all of us came out of college in 80s, right, 70s and 80s, we did not have anything to stand. There was only a 10% platform was there for us. And everything we had to climb, every aspect of it. Even there was no Excel, there was no Word, there was no computer, there was no internet. Every one of us have to take notes in papers and notebooks and everything out, sustain it for a long time as a reference. And also we always looked upon others to experienced people to teach us and guide us. So we learned everything from the fundamental. 10% platform. Today you look at it, sir, very seriously you look at it. That is what we have to understand. Today, people come out with a 40% platform. You go to any organization today, I can give this challenge to all of us. Anybody can challenge me on this. You go to any organization today, and no student are going to college from college and says, I will start from fundamental. No. Every organization has got a ERP, a software is there, a system is there. It's already 40%, 50% platform is there. You don't worry about it. Use the software, put the input, get the output, get the job done. Don't talk about fundamentals to us. And that is what is happening when organizations are also looking at people who can stand up at 30-40% platform. So naturally, the students will also not bother about fundamentals and foundational aspects of learning. They want to learn after engineering, they want to go a 3 months, 6 months course, study a coding system like Python or set up something like testing or AI, whatever it is. And then they want to jump into a platform where everything is available. Today, coding is also just easily available. People just jump into that. In a system like this, we cannot again talk only about motivational platitudes or should do and should not do kind of models, actually. What is important for us is that wherever the forum is there, we have to implement strategic realities of life. And that cannot come from at the college level when the children are only 20, 22 years old. That has to come from age of 12 or 14 when they are just coming out of school. That's where we have to do that. And without doing that fundamental changes, without having that great, highly net worth individuals and systems and forums like IIT cannot encourage the innovation and the research-based objects, how can we grow, sir? This is a problem. I know that there is no solution for it, but this is what we have to discuss about it instead of going for this is a new ones we have to discuss about it. All of you are highly intellectual, much more knowledgeable than me, much more experienced than me, much more have seen life. Actually, I am very small in front of you, but I'm happy to shake hands with you and join with you to do whatever is possible if you come with a beautiful idea or a concept. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir Kasirarajan, sir, please go on, sir.
Good afternoon to Gopi and the speaker, Mr. John. It was a wonderful session, very interesting. And I was very anxious to talk to you because you worked in Parliament as Director of Simultaneous Interpretation Services. So I also had the privilege and the opportunity to work very closely in the Parliament House, the Lok Sabha Secretariat and Rajya Sabha Secretariat during the early 90s and late 80s. So I was involved in the entire computerization of the Parliament House, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, including the Secretariat of the Honorable Lok Sabha Speaker in the early 2000. And those days, Mr. Balayogi, who passed away during the helicopter crash, he was the then honorable speaker. And later on, I was also involved in the education to all the honorable members of the parliament when they were provided with the laptops. And also, I had the opportunity and the privilege to train the honorable speaker Lok Sabha, Shri Shivraj Patil, when he was the honorable speaker Lok Sabha. And I did a lot of other projects for the Lok Sabha Secretariat, the library, digitalization of the library, digital archiving of their old microfilms into the digital formats. And also the proceedings of the joint session during the visit of the former Prime Minister of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and also the former President of USA, Mr. Bill Clinton. So I had the privilege also when I was heading the IT projects jointly. I was working with the National Informatics Center, where they used to provide the software and we used to provide the hardware and we used to integrate the whole system for the Parliament House. And I was also involved in the literacy mission program under Mr. Rajiv Gandhi when he was the Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, under the project Vivek Darpan. Using the electronic media, those days we used to have the television set, the community video system, and the VCP, and the recorded video cassettes. We used to have I'm from a Government of India enterprise under the Ministry of, now it is called Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Those days it used to be DOE, Department of Electronics. So I was heading the Government of India enterprise. So we were the canalizing agency to the Government of India, like NIC. So we used to procure the security systems and also the entire security system of the Parliament House, like metal weapon detectors, night vision devices, and many other security equipment through Motorola and other the leading US and other European companies in the other part of Europe. So I was also involved in the delivery supply system installation and also the training part to the security officials of the Parliament House. And later on, in the literacy mission program, we used the community video system called Sangamitra. Sangamitra is a combination of community video TV television set and the VCP and the video cassette. The video cassettes, we used to have the pre-recorded video cassettes for educating the illiterates and the completely in the deep villages, remote villages of the underdeveloped states, mainly the 4 states like Bihar. Those days it used to be only Bihar, then MP, Rajasthan, and northern UP. So we selected about 100 districts where we educated the scheduled tribes and the scheduled castes. We used to visit the villages and meet the pradhans, the local village administrators, and then provide the electronic media where there used to be the power used to be a biggest problem challenge, when we used to work on those areas like Bihar, especially. So we used to get the power of only 90 volts. So we designed the power supply accordingly to cater to the low voltage segments. And it used to, we used to provide them education in technical knowledge for the people who are underdeveloped, and including the education, basic education to the tribal women, adult education, mainly for the adults. So we used to provide the faculty, we used to provide the community video system, and also we used to maintain the whole thing. We used to provide the video recorded systems jointly with Transtel. It's an American company. And we used to have our own crew, the cameramen, the lightmen, the whole team of video shooting. So this is one part where I was involved in the IT literacy mission. And I was also involved in the IT literacy mission, Government of India, covering some of the states like UP, Bihar, mainly the Kerala. Kerala took the lead and it became the 100% IT literate state where we trained about 70,000 students who are from the underprivileged sections and the people from scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and minority communities in Kerala. And when Mr. Oman Chandy was the chief minister and Mr. Anthony was the defense minister, he was the then chief minister when we started the program. Then it continued during Mr. Oman Chandy's time. And I was involved. I traveled extensively in the entire Kerala state, and we developed and we gave them, provided them employment also. And most of the students, even they tried to go abroad, they got opportunities in US, and about 1,000 students, they went to other parts of the, Europe and US and Australia. So this way, the education, even in the development of the entire northeastern region, which was under the then Prime Minister Mr. Devagowda, and then later on Mr. Vajpayee. So I was involved in the. I was one of the technical committee members appointed by the Government of India. It was under the supervision of the PMO. We used they allocated huge funds for developing the entire northeastern region. So all the 7 states, including the West Bengal, the entire West Bengal region. So we developed around 100 odd institutions, Government of India, private universities, and also the technical institutes under the state government, and also the NGOs. So we developed the entire region by this also called the Education and Employment Generation Program. So we, by which we gave them even funds for even doing their own self-reliant business. To start up something on their own, or to join the mainstream, like coming to the other parts of India for employment and creating the opportunities. And some of them got employed in the local state government also. So one thing I would like to mention to you is that education, as it's a very interesting topic. You have mentioned many good things, and when Mr. Ashokan of Salem, when he asked about the skill development, it was very beautifully explained by Mr. Stalin Soundrapandian that yes, it is still, opportunities are plenty. Ministry of Skill Development is having their own set of programs for developing the Indian youth, where they can get trained, they get stipend. Ministry of Education also is having a lot of apprenticeship training programs, and also NATS, National Apprenticeship Training Scheme, under the Ministry of Education, as well as Labor Department is having apprenticeship training on the technical side, on the technical education. And there is one Central Institute for Research and Training under the Ministry of Labor. Apart from all this, there is a collaboration between state government, R&D, that's called RD, Regional Development of Skill Development, Regional Directorate of Skill Development, and the Union Ministry of Skill Development. They have jointly promoted a scheme where by which the young students also can take up the course, and they can specialize their skills and knowledge, and also they can get into employment in the corporate sector or in the government sector. That is one more thing. And there is one institute, triple P model, by which by name ICT Academy of Tamil Nadu. This is actually a joint participation by the central government, state government, and the corporate sector. This is a non-profit organization. They are also giving lots of training programs. I also sometimes go for providing lectures on the new topics like IoT, Internet of Things, and also many other new topics, like now it is AI and ML. So there are a lot of opportunities and avenues created by the central and state governments, and also the corporate sector. The central PSUs are having a lot of other schemes for the young generation, or for the next generation, where they can take the opportunity. They are also given a 2-year apprenticeship training program, as well as they're also taken as trainees and get the specialized skill training. So that also can be utilized. This is one point. Another one, last but not the one, is the responsibility doesn't lie only with parents. It also the institutions should also encourage the students, and learning is a continuous process that should be injected in the minds of the students, the youngsters. And frankly, nobody taught me to go and do further MTech or MBA. My father gave me the basic education. Later on, when I moved to Delhi, I myself started doing my other courses. I have done lots of certification courses offered by American universities, and a lot of American certifications I have. I kept on updating my knowledge and my skills. So it's on my own. It depends. And also the environment also helped me in doing so. Now also, at the age of 65 plus, I'm doing a course on AI and ML. I'm spending about ₹1,00,000. Only the youngsters are teaching us online. So there is a way to learn. There should be some motivational programs, and we, as rightly pointed out by Mr. Manoharan, we can also come to your institutes, educate the students, tell them that yes, there are avenues. It doesn't mean that only they should go for employment only for making money, or just to and get stagnated there. No, they have to aim for something big and widen their knowledge and keep on updating, learn to unlearn and relearn in the upskilling process. This is what my suggestion. Thanks very much, sir. It was a very interesting session by you, and I think one more session, Mr. Gopi will permit us to attend and permit you to talk to us again. Thanks a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
Very interesting session. Thank you, sir.
We'll
Thank
make
you
a
very much.
formal
Thank you very
request.
much. You have given a
Dr.
wide
Sam.
spectrum of your activities in the field of IT. It is really impressive, and yes, your services should be made use of by other institutions and other bodies, and
Thank
people
you very
who are
much, sir.
listening to it now will benefit by your offer to serve the society. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much, sir. With your blessings.
Dr.
Sir,
Kadiresan?
I want to tell you one thing. Just regarding, I am Sundar Rajan. I am from Pondicherry. I am here in the ITI, Institute Management Committee is there. This is appointed by Ministry of Labour. Okay. And no way state government is related to this one. Okay. Their government is here, only agent for this one. We can choose any latest machines we can purchase. And what is the latest technology, latest machine used in the industries, we free to buy. Government of India is giving money, and it will be installed in the institute, and training will be given on the latest technologies. This is going on for the past 10 years. But the only problem is that teachers belongs to state government, and they are frequently getting transferred, and the new person don't know about the new technology. That things are going on. But government of India giving plenty of money for this one, and the institute management committee is free to buy. There is no government norms or anything. Any machines you can buy, any top quality machines you can buy. No conditions for that one. This is happening. Second one, we are in our university, Annam University, we are doing one program called STED. We are giving education and training for students every week, and we have a MOU with our department, university. So we are going and teaching them other than subject, how to be in the factory, how to become a factory fit, how we can become, how to face interviews, like that. We are giving a lot of skills to them. This is going on for the past 6-7 years. So these are the things also we are doing it as alumni. We are doing to our alma mater. So for those things, I just want to tell you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your input. Any other participant?
Dr. Kadiresan. Dr. Kadiresan? Someone slept. No. Dr. Renuka? Okay, I think we're done, sir. No problem, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Suresh, sir, would you like to add something, sir, before we close?
Oh, it's perfectly all right. Going on a very nice inputs received. Fantastic session. In fact, now as an alumni, how you are going to contribute your successes, that will be a $1 million question. Someone pointed out that. That's a very good suggestion. You can have a forum of experts, and at least once in 3 months, you can meet your successors, the new recruits, newly completed graduates, engineering graduates. Maybe before they take over, we can have a session on the topics what we discuss now, not only engineering on constitution of India, on social status. And I usually take classes for the engineering students at the institutions where I work on the social transformation of India. So how in the olden age the business ethics were there, and as rightly Professor Krishnasami John Sundar was talking about, right from the historical prospects. Now, this morning also I was just looking at information. There is a temple near Pudukkottai where there is a sculpture of a sphinx, of a Egyptian sphinx in the temple. I can share with that. With Gopi, you can share with that. I was so surprised, and that videographer or the reels maker was explaining. It was some, I think 835, I think year it is mentioned. That means there was some business connection with the Tamils and Egypt. It's very well clearly explained in that sculpture. So who is going to talk about all these things? So the ancient way of business and then the ethics. Tata's, they have their office. I have seen it over there. They have a booklet of how this ethical consideration of a business management is being followed in Tata firms. And they mention about this was like this and this is being taken from that. So that kind of healthy business management concepts could be shared by the experts, maybe from the AABN forum, or you can talk to other experts and you can make it up. That could be one way I feel from my experience, preparing the young minds to take up the challenges as not just a education, but as a knowledge, because knowledge is different from education. So as a knowledge where they can gather more information and they can pass on to the next generation. That is how the world moves on. So it's a very good session. Maybe we can have some more discussions with some more experts some other time later. Thank you very much, Gopi sir, for the wonderful session.
Thank you, Mr. So, John, sir, would you like to say a few words before we close, sir?
Yeah. So how to overcome the complacent attitude in the younger generation of today? That is one disturbing element that was pointed out. We have to address how to address it, how to motivate them, how to involve them. That is one thing. How to enhance the skill development programs, the quality improvement. It calls for collaborative effort. And we have to understand the strategic realities. And we have to learn from China what they are interested with to manufacture and make. They unmake, learn, improve, and they are becoming industrial giants. And every country can boast of one product or the other. But India can boast of what product, what manufacture. We are milling out thousands of qualified engineers and technocrats, but do we make a mark of our own? Yes. In the field of IT, we have achieved, we have proved, we have established, but we have all lost those talents in the brain drain. Is it not? It is a painful thing. But as an inclusive society, how India can focus on it in years to come. In days to come, we have to address it. In years to come, we have to achieve it. With this, we conclude this session, hoping that we may be able to meet again. Thank you very much.
Last, I have a point, Mr. Gopi sir. With respected academic partners are here, so we can have a common forum and inviting the young engineers. We can send an invitation to all engineering colleges in and around Chennai, at least to start with, inviting youngsters to take part, and then they can have interaction with our experts. We have Professor Vishwanathan is there, Chavandra is there. A lot of experts are there. So let the engineers, young engineers, come out with their, whatever they have in their mind, and we can have some kind of interaction and clearing the mind and guide them to the next level. That could be maybe for the 250th session we can think about, where we can invite the top academic experts from our group as well as from outside also, not only in engineering, from all disciplines, and try to give a clarity on the future, which is going to be very challenging for the youngsters who are now doing their courses. So that's what my suggestion, humble suggestion. So,
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. We'll take it forward, sir.
Yeah.
Silent, sir, you're about to say something, sir?
Beg your pardon? Not me.
Silent, sir, you're about to say something?
No. I was only just listening. Anyway, but this industry institute interaction, as I said, I might be looking frustrating, but this is something I'm hearing for the past more than 50 years, ever since I came out of the college, and not much of improvement has taken place. But that's not a point of soreness. Definitely, never. There must be something solid happening to make this happen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all once again.